we continue the main plot.
That's for you to decide. If you want to create an opportunity to do something else, then you can do that. But that's for you to decide, I guess, where you want to go. But we will start from where we left off.
Yeah, cool.
That's a kind of the general theme of this campaign, where if something fancies your eye, do it. I guess there's no real hurry anymore. Yeah, because there's no really pre-written thing. Where there are like small like things where for which I will create plot hooks, but there's no real agency. I guess there's no hurry for anything. Unless the end game starts, and then you'll see.
Yeah. Yes, it would be funny to start a game without everybody else. And not pleasant for them.
But there's still a lot of time till we get there. And a lot of planning. I have no idea still how to properly make it work. That's why I guess a big portion of the early part of this campaign is like testing things, whether they work or not, to see if it's appropriate to use in the end game. That doesn't mean, I don't know, it should still be decent. Hopefully it will still be decent enough to be enjoyable. We'll just see where we get with this thing. Yeah. Last time, that was 2 weeks ago. Last time you had a heated argument, a discussion about whether to enact your plan, whether to truly save Neverwinter from the clutches of the Queen, or however you put it, to stop the oppression. Whatever conclusions you reached, you know it. But apart from that, you started a potential way and a potential quest to save the Djinn. And later on you found out that the reason behind why you would want the book in the first place, why Pete wants it, and why the son, the brother of Ravengard, Richard. Why Richard wants the Djinn's wish. You had some questions were answered, some reasons were given, and potential rewards. And I guess we will start off where we left off last time, in the office with Richard, Beagle, Pete, and the rest of you. If you still remember, I think we left off somewhere where you had questions, if you still remember what questions you had.
I barely remember anything.
Well, then you have no questions. Unless Warden has questions. Do you have questions?
I had questions for the Djinn, but I shall ask them sometime later.
Then I presume you bid your farewells and go about your business.
Yes, we go about our business.
Richard reiterates. And then before you go, I don't really need the Djinn's wish. I just, or not Richard says it, Big Al says it by interpreting. He doesn't specifically need the Djinn's wish, but just if you have another way of curing him. But for now, that is, at least to our knowledge, the only way. Good luck.
I think we tried to to check what's the spell like been used. It's a true polymorph level 9
Yes.
spell or something.
Yes, True Polymorph, a level 9 spell, which can be undone with. It's written in the spell. You can look it up. I don't really remember. But definitely with a True Polymorph or a Wish, but maybe there are like other spells also, if it's written there. Because given it like it's yeah.
So it's a true polymorph without a time constraint, yes?
Yeah.
Well,
Did you
how
use it?
True Polymorph works is if it hasn't been interrupted in the full duration that it can be active, which is 1 hour, then it becomes like permanent. If the
Okay, yeah, I see it. Yeah, if you concentrate max duration, you're permanent. Okay.
yes.
You can become a dinosaur wizard.
You can become a lot of things.
No, you can't cast spells. Never mind.
You unless you polymorph into a creature that can cast spells.
Or unless you are a warlock.
Or you turn into a chair.
Wait, can a warlock cast spells while polymorphed? I don't think. Or do you
The
mean
spell,
what?
the spell itself says it can't speak, cast spells, or take any other action unless its new form is capable of such action.
Yeah, it's basically you rewrite all your statistics with the creature statistics basically, and spells and abilities.
But technically, if dinosaurs has small hands, doesn't it mean it can still cast spells?
Does it have enough intelligence to do that?
No, it's a matter of whether that creature now can cast spells. You're no longer a mage, you're now a dinosaur.
Your mental abilities remain the same, so you still can like think and do stuff as you did. Just your physical changes. That said, it is understandable that they just want to turn him back. That's it. So
it does not allow you to do class features, so you still can't like, unless the dinosaur is some special variant. That's the kind of difference between polymorph and like wild shape or shape change. In shape change and wild shape, you kind of like get some of the things, but not all of the merits. But with polymorph, you get all of it. You are that creature, except the mental thing, meaning that you're basically still you, but you might not be able to speak if you're like turned into a wolf or dinosaur because you don't have the ability to speak. So yeah, whatever. Unless you're planning on casting it, I don't think it matters. There's still time until you get it, unless some other way you get it.
if we start moving right now, do we have to magically take Orin and Ukra with us, or how do we do that?
Nah. Basically, they go do their own thing. They're deep in thought. They have decided, all three of them have all decided to think about matters. And they are pondering very, very strongly, seeing as they are not the group's biggest thinkers. they need some time.
They're just in the distance thinking and not doing anything.
Yes.
Sounds like depression or something.
But when they
Especially for-
return, they're with us.
Yes. They come out of their low intelligence state of eternal thinking.
All right, but I think we shall take our movement towards the wizard.
Which wizard?
Or do you want to do something else, Liron? The wizard who has casted the true polymorph.
The quest.
Yes. Or do you, Liron, want to imprison more innocent people?
How come you think that I imprison someone?
Oh yeah,
Especially
sorry, sent to
innocent?
hell.
But yeah, how come you think that I imprison? I
Don't
doom
imprison.
people.
Yeah, you just sent to hell.
And how come you think they are innocent?
I just asked Outgame, do you want to do anything else other than that? We can argue in-game also about it, of course, yes.
Yeah, but like it's in-game.
Oh, no. I wanted to ask Outgame, do you want to do something or do we go to the wizard?
Oh, okay. No. I guess I have nothing to do at the moment. Maybe just try to research on how to dispel the magic level, like that high level magic.
We can also go to Candlekeep.
Actually, we'll go through that place anyway, if I remember correctly. I try to open the map and see what's the path, like nearest path to the wizard that enslaved the Jinn.
Yeah, as the Jinn mentioned, it is basically a 2 days trip from Candlekeep along the coast.
But it's further from the Neverwinter, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter because Candlekeep is like 3 weeks of trip away, so it's like you'll either have to, if you do not wish to spend the coin to teleport, you just have to spend a long time to going there.
We don't spend the coin. I mean, like it remains, doesn't it? Oh no, it was 50 gold coins it consumes. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's
should we ask for prepayment for covering travel expenses?
You may ask the Pete.
I go back to the guys and ask. If they would be so kind to allocate some money amount just to cover the travel expenses to travel around the world beforehand.
What travel expenses?
Well, you want to do that ASAP, I guess. And that's why you showed the portals through the city.
True enough. Where do you need to go?
We're gonna go to Candlekeep.
Yes, one moment. You want to go to Candlekeep and back anywhere else?
Do you have any other portals? Warden asks.
I have no portals, but I have... Well, I don't have. Richard has. A decent amount of connections that it would be quite easy sending you to places. most of the major cities should be accessible.
I guess we would appreciate like there and back.
Sure. Only Candlekeep?
Yep.
Very well. I'll write you a permit, I suppose. He hands you a scroll wrapped in like, yeah, I don't know, a ribbon or something.
Mhm.
There you go. This should allow you to, at least for the time being, teleport between Neverwinter and Candlekeep. Just find, well, in Neverwinter, just go to the first floor of this guild house and ask for the court mage. Show the administrator the scroll, and he should teleport you to Candlekeep. And in Candlekeep, you should go to the trade union there and show them the scroll, and they will probably find a wizard to transport you back to Neverwinter.
Thank you kindly.
Any other requests?
I guess not at the moment. We will keep you up to date if something happens.
Very well. Godspeed.
Thank you.
You exit the.
Yeah, we go
At
to
least
the
the room. Go to the first floor.
show the scroll.
Mm.
But beforehand, we would like to get our wagons and such.
Mm.
And the horses to travel, like as a noble people as we are.
Mm. You get your backpacks full of goodies.
The traveling people as we are, with no home.
Gypsies.
Well, I guess now you at least have land.
Yep.
We have land and we have a guild house, but yet we are homeless.
The fact that you're homeless just means that you just didn't have good enough of a backstory. None of you have basically family, so that's not on me. Yes.
Well, I can say that Liron has some, but he wished not to return there.
Zerel is my family.
Well, it might be so now. I mean, about the guild that he left. As a devil mockery, I can said that hey, they can speak gibberish to each other, and that's it. So if Liron would meet his fellow guild member of they could not speak to each other like meaningful.
Okay. An interesting past. Past of maybe wrong decisions or maybe right decisions, but later on, wrong decisions.
Well, that's the price you pay to do the deals with devils.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen with the deal with the devil?
Nothing horrible, I'm sure. You should make more deals with the devils. Unlimited power and such, you know.
Hmm. Unlimited power.
But yes, you do exactly that. You ask the wizard takes you to some place where he draws the circle and you're magically transported to Candlekeep once again.
Poof, Candlekeep. Liran, shall you conduct the research upon the library?
Oh yeah, that shall I do. I guess I go to library and try to research anything on like dispelling magic and how that works, and like about the or just like find some information about the what's the dispel magic. Yeah, the Wizards of Abjuration.
Roll for investigation.
Lovely.
Very,
That's
very cool.
One.
Very cool. You live through some books, go through chapters, skimming through some leaflets. Yes, magic. An almost impossibly complex subject. And even more so is the undoing of potential magic. Though luckily, I guess there are options, but high-level spells come with great costs. More often than not, the so-called 9th level of wizardry is shrouded in mostly mystery, as there are not a lot of them, and well, those that do exist, well, they usually don't really teach you to get to such a level, given that there are not a lot of people with enough talent to get there. You know, just the average wizard would be somewhere between. Well, average wizard, more like great wizard, would be someone that maybe reaches a 5th level spell, maybe at most.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, you know, legends that surpass their time are those that pierce the results. So in most cases, from the info that you gather, there are really one decent option, which is to try to find and employ a wizard of great ability, which is might be difficult. And then there's like numerous questionable methods. Of course, among them is the finding a djinn, which is probably even more difficult than finding someone of legendary level ability. Though maybe in the what was it called? Where the jinns and flying creatures reside.
They mostly come onto elemental planes.
Yeah, elemental. Yeah. There you might find some, if not for like maybe certain artifacts have the abilities to grant magic such as that, or yeah, you just have to be really lucky or really, well, maybe cruel, as well creatures in the elemental planes don't really, they're not that kind most of the time to mortals. given the long history of dispute between them, and well, not really dispute, but more like problems. So yeah, there might be, finding artifacts, finding creatures that might do these things. Maybe like sign a contract with the devil. Maybe if it's important enough devil, then it might have the ability to do it. But more often than not, probably not.
I shall not do that. I shall not impose that approach.
What else can you find? Well, in terms of artifacts, I guess there is always asking people, like important people who collect wealth, they might know. They might have even something along the lines, if they haven't already used it for more wealth.
Mystical, magical trinkets.
And then, well, it gets hazy. There might be certain worlds, in between worlds, where you might gain such knowledge or such ability. But more often than not, just people that, I guess, share such knowledge are mostly crazies and, well, get lost in time, or I don't know, some other way. So yeah, nothing specifically concrete, but if you put your heart and mind to it, there might be ways.
I kind of told the story to Warden, and I think like the at least easiest would be just to go and beat the wizard, which in the tower.
That is assumed that he is a reasonable man.
Yes.
For he might turn us also into animals.
I kind of like think about the previous campaign that like the first campaign that I had with Nick, and like started thinking, is it the same or not? We'll see, but that's a valid point, I would say.
It is actually regrettable that we did not ask why was he turned into a goat. Or if he insulted the wizard in some way, we are in disadvantage.
I guess we hadn't asked how the Raven got cursed, like got polymorphed as well.
You did not.
Yeah.
They didn't want to go into detail.
The book vibrates.
I try to open the book.
The djinn comes out.
Oh, you're able to appear here now.
Well, technically, yes. Given that you unlocked the book, yeah, and then you haven't, locked it back, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have wisdom for us, Azam?
Well, yes, I heard your small exchange of whether Zikran is a understandable man, And to that I say, I also hope, but if it comes down to him or me, then I would choose me. The reasonable choice. Meaning, I wouldn't really want it, but if it comes down to having to actually, erase his existence, then that is a price I'm willing to pay.
But how are we able to stand against a wizard that is capable of casting level 9 spells? We are but mere adventurers.
Hold on, why do you think he can cast level 9 spells?
You are true.
Well,
He is a wizard of, well, I guess by now he's skilled enough to do extraordinary magics. But he didn't really gain that knowledge by himself. Ergo, he got it from me, from long time working with me. Most of the knowledge, at least. Also, he might have, well, humans don't live for very long. So you might have an advantage on that part. And most of all, he wasn't a war mage as such. He was more of a researcher. So in the events of actually fighting him, maybe he doesn't have tools to fight back. Though maybe he does have them. In that regard, I would say, well, have more people. At the end of the day, I'd assume speaking to him wouldn't be, the end of the world.
have you seen his estate? As I mean, his
I've seen his, laboratory, yes, where we would be going.
is it booby-trapped or defended in some way?
I cannot say. It has been many years since I last talked to someone, being in a book and all. So given he might have built some, he might have not built some, I wouldn't know. Anything can happen in these 10 years. Or, yeah.
I think I should try to contact by any means, like some means, the Gwyn. Maybe she had some research on the machine that we sent.
The anti-magic.
I guess it kind of can bite us as well, but now I kind of start to think why the skeletons that we took with us didn't collapse in the cave when we approached the machine.
Plot armor. Don't overthink it.
Yes.
Not plot armor, but that's beside the point.
Yes. You may try to contact Gwyn, perhaps then yes.
Then again, the Jinn says, if such a device exists, then you would also be at a disadvantage, seeing as both of you are magic users.
Yep, that's true.
Also, from my knowledge, or the reason of why skeletons aren't destroyed is because I assume you're talking about your summon skeletons, yes?
Yes.
Well, they're not magical. Unless they are somehow, but probably not. The act of magic is casting, or like summoning the skeleton. Afterwards, it's a skeleton. It's no longer magical.
Kind of complex, but okay.
A prisoner may go by many names, but at the end of the day, he's a prisoner.
I can imagine like two wizards fighting, like fist punching each other, like really low.
Slapping each other like nerds.
I do
Now
I
you're
do
kicking my
remember there was someone from long ago that did call himself a wizard, but had a strong incline to punch stuff. What? I think it was something like Wizard of the Fist or something along the lines. Well, whatever. That was another time. So in that way, you know, being physically fit doesn't take the wizard out of you. Just saying.
Yep.
Did Zikram have any higher valued allies?
Well, who he could, I guess, bribe with his with the things that he built on my knowledge, maybe, but maybe has collected some allies, but in most cases, probably not. He wasn't really very sociable. He was more about fighting, trying to get his, you know, trying to be the one that built the flying fortress, to get renown on that, and trying to. A man with a lot of pride tends to have probably more enemies than allies.
Is he a wizard or sorcerer?
A wizard.
And one more question: if he would plane shift, will it dispel your like binding spell?
Repeat the question.
If he would be in some plane of existence other than this,
Yes.
would the binding spell, well, the whatever that binds you to the book, still active?
I presume so, yes. I wouldn't know, but I'd at least think that he has plane shift at least sometimes during the span of our relationship and afterwards. I do not believe it is an active link. It's more of a, you know, a passive sort of magic.
Okay.
I have heard that sometimes humans are preferring in some manner of gifts and such. Maybe does he have any preferences? I have heard wine and cheese is some things that some fancy.
I guess the best would be the flying fortress, or at least observe one.
There are a few in hell.
Exactly my point.
You wish to send him to hell to see a flying fortress?
At least that's one of the approaches that we could take.
It would probably have an opposite effect, but if you send him to hell for other reasons, then sure. I'd assume that if he saw a competitor, that I'm sure there are multiple, even right now, on these planes, then he would, rather than befriend them, try to gain as much information and more so. Well, technically he has achieved his goal. He has built the flying fortress already, so I'm actually
do you
not
mean?
sure whether that would.
What do you mean he has already built it?
Well, that's one of the reasons I believe why he didn't find a use for me any longer. There are multiple on the mortal planes, actually, but you wouldn't you they are extremely expensive to operate and to own, so you don't tend to see them around.
What is he using it for then?
I'm sure he doesn't actually have it.
Look at me.
How the research was paid during our, I guess, coexistence. He was sponsored by wealthy people. He spent a lot of money doing his research, and he was kind of successful, but he didn't really, the relationship went a little sour with the sponsors. He gave up in a little bit, I guess, to especially the fact that if he was sponsored and he had built it, then it wouldn't be totally only his name on it. But I guess he got the prototype working, and later on, once he decided to really build his dream, I guess, a really heavy duty one, he, well, locked me away and decided to, I guess, hunker down, build his own stuff with his own resources. So how he got resources, I'm not sure.
Is there by any chance you have, the sponsors?
I wouldn't know. Human interaction wasn't really what he used me for.
Do we know the name of that wizard?
Which one?
The one that building the flying fortresses.
Zikran.
Zikran, yep. Shall we, ask for the sponsors and get some extra cash from them?
Yet again, that was more than 10 years ago, so if they still look for the same opportunities, you might be successful. I'm not sure. To be honest, the Flying Fortress is more of a flex, as they say. I have enough money to fly a city. Well, if you can build it to be self-operating and low maintenance costs, I guess then it would be kind of a good thing, but otherwise there are more efficient ways how to travel. But humans do what humans will.
Yeah.
But what did he fancy as a human?
Renown.
Something that
recognition
we can bring to...
of great discoveries.
What other discoveries but battle fortresses has he made?
Well, Nix and Nax devices research.
Can you bring some examples, perhaps?
A fancy room designer or something, like brand new magazine?
No, more on the level of researching like permanent ways how to keep a portal open, or the general research on magic, on how to maybe combine spells or use spells for things that they might not have had a purpose for, or just general where the weave comes from and how to maintain, how to control it better. The general things that usually researchers try to find answers for. And of course, generally research also kind of entitles trying to get better yourself, to have more of a repertoire of spells and general ability in the use of magics. Whether any of his research were commercially successful, I don't know. Probably rather not.
Perhaps
But-
later on you can ask around to Candlekeep to see if that has he given some impact. It would be benefit us greatly, I believe, if we go to his estate and he asks who he is, who we are, and we can somehow sweet talk, as one says.
Well, we could sell like magazines, that promote the new subscription for new fancy architecture designs, maybe some magic research and such.
But
Or
if he asks detailed examples,
I guess you're the wizard. Yeah. I don't really know any spells, but I
it is
can.
it is not the spells you have to know, it is the research that he has benefited within the community.
We could go and search for Magic Fortress, so it's like a big university, I guess. So we just need to find the proper courses.
I mean, we just have to find some kind of magazine mention or book of whatever to see what he has done, and we can be like, hey, you're the guy who made I don't know, real life golems. So he's like, oh, you've heard of me, please come sit, take some cup of tea. That's not how Warden says it, but it's the general gist. I'm going with the text, so you can handle however the Warden says it.
Why such approach Warden didn't propose?
No,
It's-
that's Warden says basically that, but I don't want to put it like in Warden speech because you might not understand what I mean by it, because I've been kind of circling around it currently. That we should get some information on the Zikram, so once we go like to his place, we have some, hey, we have some wine, you want to talk? It's like, oh, you're the wizard, oh, cool. So he isn't just like sitting on his porches and with his shotgun. He's like, goddamn kids, back in my day we had spells, and then he casts like level 10 fireball or something like that.
No, he just takes his fortress and fly away. I guess let's start with the. I guess the thing is that you propose to, get the background research on him, and the second would be like how we can be beneficial, like have extra info on the topics that he did the research, so we could have decent conversation on that matter.
Exactly.
Yes. I guess let's do that. I go to librarian, my favorite guy, woman, and I ask about the topics about the research on flying fortresses.
Oh, aren't you fancy? Flying fortresses. Why? Flying yourself isn't enough?
No, I want a big flying.
I want to
Hold on.
fly a city.
I wonder how many million platinum coins you have, Mr. Fancy Pants. Very well.
Well, flying stagecoach is not enough for me. Now I want to have flying city.
I want to travel without going out my home.
Oh, we got a rich man here, a noble, a true noble. But sure, very well. I do believe we have a couple of papers on it. I don't believe we have anything really concrete, but maybe bits and pieces. Given flying fortresses cost a fuck ton of money to build, no one of really sensible minds owns one. You'd have to be a dragon to own something like that, you know, in terms of having money and stuff.
It's one of those times that I regret leaving Victor's character, Artificer, in Hell. Gwyn in Hell.
Yeah. Well, she's kind of building a flying fortress.
Hmm.
At least she's working on the maintenance.
By maintaining it, she's learning quite a lot, I believe.
But
At
yeah,
least I hope she's fixing it. Maybe next time we go there, they have an elevator also working, not just a shaft.
Maybe it will work just more efficient by smashing.
Maybe
So-
they'll work. Period.
oh, I'm sorry, we had to replace the elevator with a ladder.
Oh god.
Please go up 500 meters on the ladder or something.
It's like going to some freaking, I don't know, Teledorn and then being like, oh, we replaced for efficiency and like power saving. Now you have a ladder here.
You know, it's more green.
Yeah, it's green. Freaking ladder to like, I don't know how many 100 meters.
No, it's not ladder anymore, it's just rope.
Oh shit.
Gotta be
It's a
small
long
as
ass
hell.
rope.
Yeah.
But they have a stairway, so.
But yes, roll for investigation, thank you. Actually, do you have to? Yeah, roll for investigation. Not for finding those works, but rather to comprehend said works. Oh no.
Oh,
What
it's
the fuck's
doubled.
that? I can now build a flying fortress.
While reading the book about flying fortresses, I have created the scale replica model that fits in my hand, and it works as the same.
I read so much that now I am a flying fortress.
I am a flying fortress. Decepticons, roll out.
The few research papers on flying fortresses, mostly on the more important matters retaining big enough fuel source to power set devices to levitate the whole building, and schematic, not really schematics, but more on research papers on proper like levitation devices to levitate a mass of such large, I guess, heft, as there are research papers on levitation devices, but at most that they can be, or like at most that they're efficient in are maybe holding up like a man or two, but something like an actual levitation, like a flying building, or maybe a huge flying apparatus that works off of some efficient fuel is well, not really documented here. It's more about the ideas of if there was a fuel that wasn't 100 wizards casting fly or levitation spells all the time, if there was a theoretical fuel source of magic that allowed devices to work off of magic and to levitate the building, then maybe if the devices were this strong and maybe in this pattern, it would be kind of efficient. But at least to the knowledge in this library, there are no, I guess, specifics on whether Flying Fortress is possible to be created, I guess. But there are like notes of, they say that there are already Flying Fortresses that work off of strong enough artifacts. But the specifics are not detailed. In most cases, the theoretical solution would be like a dozen or so powerful enough artifacts that allow levitation of large mass. But that also wouldn't account for free travel, because levitation only means a certain amount of travel from ground. But you would want a free flying fortress, so to say. So it would need to have a little bit more of an intricate artifacts that allow autonomous travel, so to say. And there are a couple of artifacts that allow individuals to fly, and one noted artifact that allows a big enough artifact, like the size of a small building, that allows a certain amount, a large amount of mass to be flown about freely.
Is there anything written about that specific artifact?
About what?
That specific artifact that like forced to fly. Size of the house.
Yes, it is written that the last known, I guess, info on it was. Wait, I have to find the map for a second. Faerun map. Come on. Yes, very nice. South of Faerun. And a little bit of east in the well-known, I guess, metropolitan of Cormyr. There used to, at least, it was documented that in a dense layer of dragon habitat, an artifact was found, or possibly created somehow, that manages to, if given a control device, to fly a sizable house, or more like a sizable house. But the artifact itself is like 4 meters tall and 4 meters cubed, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
A large object. It was retrieved and studied by scholars there. It used to be owned by a noble that.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. I need to answer the phone.
Sure. That means a small break.
Legas.
Huzzah!
Warden would like to find a spell.
Yes.
I want to find a spell, Expeditious Retreat, and copy it to my book. It's a level 1 spell.
Wait, what? Name it again.
Expeditious Retreat. It just gives that you can use bonus action to dash. I can link it also.
I found it.
Okay, it's level 1.
And how do you go about finding said spell?
As it is a wizard's city of whateverness, I search for maybe like spells for sale or such stores.
A very, very fine decision. Could you roll me a perception check? It is not a city that you know well, but
I shall roll for the one that you have asked of me, and
Yes.
it is good.
oh, it is magnificent. You ask some people, you are in the field of wizardry and you would like to copy spells to your spellbook. Where could you purchase some spells? And they pinpoint you to several locations. For simpler spells, it is a public like location, a store of mundane spells, as they say, low-level spells. For higher ones, however, you would have to actually meet people and create connections, and maybe just maybe they for a steep price they will allow you to copy their spells to your spellbook.
I thank the people for the information, and I go to the commoner's spell location,
Yes,
as I'm currently only interested in that spell.
it's a decently fancy wooden building. On its front is written mundane spells, and inside you can find a decent amount of young wizards in their generic, I guess, stereotypical wizard hat and wizard robes as they hobble about looking through catalogs and offering not enough coin from their whatever they might own in order to learn some simple spells like predestination or whatnot. Predestination.
You can't learn cantrip.
You can't. Well, fuck. Then they're fucked. Then the store owner says, "I am sorry, good sir, good sirs, but it is not possible for you to learn cantrip from others. You have to learn them from yourself. Go back to school."
Yeah, I wanted to say that. Go back to school and learn, you plebs. Like, you having asked how to learn cantrips, smack on the face. Like, get out of here. You're not a real wizard.
First hit puberty before you're going to try to buy spells.
Try casting a verbal spell without your voice crack, little boy. I walk up to the shopkeep and say, I seek for your mundane spells. A spell called the Expeditious Retreat. May you guide me?
Why, yes. It is a simple spell, but it is not often used.
I think it doesn't. If you didn't pay attention, then it might work against me that I have like a freaking army behind me there also, but it's not in the store. They don't come inside.
However, why, yes, for a decent coin, for a decent price, we do have it here. It would cost.
Yes, I wish to copy it into my book. How much is the fee?
Understandable. Let's see what the market price is. And he takes out a magical tablet and pushes buttons. Yes, okay, understandable. It a measly 210 gold.
I try to understand if he's trying to scam me.
Sure, insight.
God damn it. I will use my lucky.
He's
Fuck.
He's an honest businessman doing an honest day's work. It seems like the market is quite steep.
Warden remembers on her. God damn it! Oh, I'm a blunt little freaking hammer. Mm, I'm even blunter than a hammer. God damn it! Warden looks at the being of flesh and puts, what was it, 210?
Yes.
God damn it, Mick, why you do this to me? Puts the coin on the table and says that thank you, your market value will be, God damn, what was the word? Noted.
Understandable. He gives you like the proper magical ink and the quill and shows you only that spell.
Yeah, I guess there's like a small private room where you just sit in the corner and just write it over to your book, and then like a closed curtain and a candle lit and whateverness.
Yes.
Cool.
You spend your hour or however long it takes. I think it was an hour.
2 hours.
2 hours, sure.
2 hours per level.
Meticulously copying all the fine details of said spell.
Yes.
Actually, how do spells look like in D&D?
You write it in the book in a way that only you understand it. It's deciphered, and however way, that's why it takes time to understand another wizard's book.
And how do your spells look like?
Weird magical runes that glisten when you open. They glisten in orangish reddish color.
Sure.
I guess I haven't like fully thought about it, so yeah.
It's just ones and O's.
But they're like perfectly angled corners. Like there's no like smooth turning. It's basically like 45 and 90-degree angles.
It's like a machine printed it on paper.
Exactly. Once I finish, I walk up to the seller and say, thank you. And then I look around a bit and I ask, out of curiosity, what is the most popular spell amongst the people?
Well, the most that we sell is, I guess, Magic Missile. But I wouldn't say that's the most popular. That's just in terms of quantity. An interesting question, no doubt. I think of course, if the people can afford it, Fireball. Of course, because the desire for said spell is so strong, the marketplace price is quite steep.
I see.
One of the...
And what is the...
Yes?
Go on. No, what is the most rare spell you have sold?
Most rarest? Well, it's more rare because no one really uses it rather than it being actually like strong or something along the lines, but I'd say, let's see, what's the most used spell? Jump, definitely jump. Theoretically, a decent I guess, well, a little bit, I don't know, not that cost efficient, but you know, sometimes you just want to jump instead of climb, I guess. So I don't know, but no one really uses it.
Understandable. Thank you for your time, and I leave.
Thank you.
I just was browsing Outgame. I was browsing spells, and holy heck, how useless spell one is. Great Homunculus. Basically, create a homunculi, which is like garbage stats. He has 13 AC, 5 hit points, and like everything below 10, 11, dexterity, 15 though. Strength 4, charisma 7, whatever. Has bite attack and telepathic bond. And the trick here is it's your faithful companion, and if it dies, you die. Why would you have that? It costs one. You have to use a 1000 GP dagger to cut yourself for 2d4 piercing damage.
It dies if you die.
If he dies, you die.
No.
It is your faithful companion. Oh, okay, it dies if he dies. Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Then I read it wrong. I was like, what the fuck?
It would
Still,
be
why do you have
weird.
that? It sucks.
I think it's because it's like a sentient creature that you can. It's like a forever companion. Yeah, like you know, a permanent assistant, like someone to keep your home in order while you're away.
If you rest, you can expend hit dice. Half your hit die. Take the die and modify Constitution and give it to the imp. I mean homunculi. Yeah, you can give hit points to the homunculi.
Your hit point maximum is reduced by the total.
And it is increased to the whatever dude.
So I guess theoretically you can, yeah,
Give him
level
health,
it
but
up,
then again,
increase its HP.
yeah, but it's still garbage.
But I think the point is you've now got a permanent sentient companion.
Yeah, it can like guard locations
Do
and
whatever
do
you
stuff.
want. Like as opposed to having skeletons that you have to, you know, babysit every day, or like having humans that die. You're like maybe you're literally swimming in cash, and you need to go into a 10-year slumber, but you need someone to maintain, you know, your location. So when you wake up, you're not dead. That's very good, very good. Biggest thing.
Well, yeah,
The only thing
faithful.
that yeah, it's a very like it's not directly helpful, but it's like you know, a good thing.
Yeah, if it would be able to like cast spells, it would be better. Like when you go to sleep, so it casts your spells or something. I guess I don't know. Because you couldn't use familiar spells, right? Like find familiar.
To cast the homunculi.
No, like the familiar. If you had the familiar, you could channel a spell, but you can only channel touch spells. I think it was.
Yes. But you have to be in a certain distance from it. Maybe.
But yeah, I guess like one of the advantage with the homunculi is that it's forever faithful. It won't betray you, and it's like yes, master, and whatever, and it has telepathic bond, and it can fly.
You're right. I think it's a spell for a time when you're no longer, you know, going adventuring and you're more doing
Stuff.
Yeah, you're trying to become a lich.
But why not just have familiar?
I mean, someone familiar.
Yeah, I mean, like what taking difference of find familiar and homunculi, like
I think some like familiar isn't like human shaped and it can't carry a lot of weight, right?
Yeah, it's just the animal it is basically. Yeah, cat, boat, bat. I mean, frog, hawk, lizard, whatever.
Yeah. I think it's like because familiars are like small creatures, but a homunculi is like a medium one, right?
Yeah.
The familiar has to be 100 feet from you.
Yeah. To do the spell thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
familiar has to be to cast a ranged touch attack. It just is 100 feet from you, and that's it.
Oh shit. On off. Oh, it's unarced arcana. Forgot about it.
Sorry, what?
It doesn't matter. It's not an official spell, so fuck it. But yes, Warden has successfully paid a large sum of money to get a spell.
Find familiar.
Oh, but just so you know, when you cast a spell with a bonus action, you can only use your action to cast a cantrip. Wait, yes, only a cantrip or like a regular non-spell action. You cannot
What?
do like cast bonus action spell and then cast fireball. You cannot do that.
Yeah. You cast a spell basically, but the familiar delivers it.
No, I don't mean that. I mean the spell that you actually acquired. When you cast a bonus action spell, then on your main action, you can only cast a cantrip or a regular action.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So if you cast like
Spell I currently take.
if on a main action you cast a spell slot spell, you cannot cast that bonus action spell.
Yeah, understandable.
Cool. That's it.
I just have the expeditious retreat just in dire needs or whatever, like ready.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I have to check that I cannot cast more than one spell in one turn.
To run away, it is quite easy. You use your action to not dodge. What the other one was?
Dash. You use bonus to dash.
Oh yeah, you use bonus to dash, but then you can use your main action to do the thing to get out of the opportunity attack.
Misty Step.
No. Action, not a spell. Whatever. Basically,
Disengage.
Disengage. Then you can just disengage and use that spell, and then you run away for like 60 feet or whatever it was.
Yep.
And then the enemy runs 60 feet and is close to you, and then you're oops.
But it lasts for like 10 minutes.
Ah, okay. No, yeah, I guess.
And you don't have to run away, you can run towards.
Sure. To catch someone. But yeah, Warden went to the spell shop to buy a spell.
Yes.
Have you done any research to like kind of have the talk with the guy? I don't know.
I did not.
Do you wanna?
But you did.
Yep, I did.
Yeah, basically some noble in Gromir probably owns it, but that was some time ago. Whether that news is up to date or not. Yeah. Also, there were a couple of newspaper articles on Sikran, but they were mostly about people bashing his theories.
People bashing his what?
His research. They were counter-argumenting his research on parts of the Flying Fortress and functionality, and saying that it is not feasible to build such things. And
Okay.
that, well, reading between the lines, you might believe that generally people do not have a high opinion of him, or at least whoever reviewed his research. Sequence research itself, however, is not in the library.
I asked about his research. Like, is it some kind of book that should be in the library or not?
Who's the administrator
Zikram.
asks?
Zikram.
The only thing that pops up is the Sequence tome, and I do believe you owned it.
Okay, that's good.
Timo, we have not read the tome. We let the genie out. We have never read it.
We read the book.
Yeah, we get together, Scrabble the Infant, and we open the book to read the hell is written there anyway.
Cool. How did it go? 1 second. Roll me an Arcana check.
Can we both do it?
Sure, but then I'll take the average.
Timo, how good? Okay, you throw Arcana. Okay.
Okay, first, I'm proficient in it, so shouldn't be too bad.
Now Wizard also has it, but okay, you rolled it. Doesn't matter then. You read it.
Yeah.
The first 10 pages of the book contains various notes in Zikran's hand that indicates he tried several times to trap a jinn in the book before finally succeeding. The next 8 pages are observations of Ghazre Azam's behavior during his time of servitude to Zikran. The last 90 pages of the book are blank.
What does it say about the gene?
Wait one moment. And your nice skills of the magics of the arcana kind of allowed you to find out that the blank pages on this volume used to serve as a wizard's spell book, the whole book itself, I guess. And at some point, some spells were removed in such a way as to leave the pages blank.
I'm supposed to remove.
Now the question was, what about the jinn? What did it say about the jinn? It was more about observations and notes on how the jinn reacted, and for the most part, the jinn expressed. It was written that the jinn continuously expressed his worry about being trapped in the book. As the observations were. Oh no! Wait, sorry, I read it wrong. Yeah. The jinn. No, it was in his servitude in Zikran before he was trapped in the book, right? So yeah. Oh no, actually no, that's wrong. He was bound and then he was in servitude. So yes, it's still correct. The book described mostly about the jinn's concern about being bound to it, and that he would like to be released, and he happily, I guess, shares his knowledge in order to do the Zikran's bidding, so that hopefully they will get to a conclusion where the jinn is released. Yes. The notes also say that Zikran got more and more annoyed as the Jin, I guess, pestered him. And eventually, then the observations end.
Can we try to restore the magic spells?
And how would you do that?
I guess first of all, I would go to spell merchants and ask how the hell that can actually be done in the first place, and then would think about the way how to contract.
Sure, you go to you show them the spell book and say, is it possible to restore them? And then he says, is this your spell book?
I look at the warden.
I look at Liron. I just stare as normally like a warden does.
I'm sorry, but I'm not a wizard. He is.
Is
pointing
this your
to-
spell book?
At the moment, this spellbook is at our hands, so I don't know.
That is not my question. It is a fundamental question. Yes or no?
Can someone actually own a thing? So,
Well, the
since it's-
original author, yes.
Yes, the original author. No, it's not us.
Oh, yeah. Then in that case, it probably cannot be deciphered and restored. It's just a general problem of not understanding the specific contents of another wizard's spellbook, especially if it's in such condition. Maybe given a lot of money and a lot of years of time of research and the decryption, maybe. But I'm more often than not, it's probably not worth it.
How does one recover spells?
A meticulous process. You just try to start experimenting first with what you have and then where the logical conclusions take you. Trial and error. I think documented are only like a handful of cases where it has been successful. But in most cases, you're not in a situation where you have a spell book where the spells have been erased. So,
And if
if
we were the original author, how will the recovery process then look like?
Well, you would be able to recover them yourselves probably. You erased them. Unless you don't remember any longer, or a long time has passed, maybe. I don't know. You'd be able to actually read and
So
maybe find traces of something, but otherwise
erased.
there's literally nothing on the page. Come on, what can I do?
Yeah, I think there's nothing to do here. What were the other pages about?
The capture of the Jinn, then the Jinn itself, and then empty pages. If I remember
Yes,
correctly.
please. What about the Jinn? Jinn itself. What is he?
Whom are you asking?
I am asking my brain as I look at the letters on the book.
There's no info on what the Jinn is.
What was after the capture of the Jinn then?
Observations of the Jinn's behavior during his time of servitude. About
It
what the
wasn't
Jinn
the topic
did.
we just said.
And what it. There's no theory on what the Jinn is, or
Yeah, but I mean the other topics there was the same topic you just said or something new?
that's it.
Oh.
Observations of behavior.
He did not like it.
You know, I'm literally here, the Jin says.
No, I didn't tell him he didn't like it. I just asked you, like, was the observation basically that he didn't like it? Or is there like any more info about it there?
I can literally tell you, the Jin says.
I'm looking at the book. I'm not talking to the Jin or anyone. I'm just looking at the book.
Shut up, Jin. I'm reading. About
Stop reading my thoughts.
He didn't read your thought? Did you
I
say,
didn't.
don't read my thoughts out loud?
Depends.
What?
Because the whole time I was just reading the book and shuffling
Yes.
the pages.
Yes,
And then
and
he just
he
said,
says, I can literally tell you about myself if you're that interested in those scribblings.
Then I answered the Jin that
You seem quite intent on reading it, but well, I've been in that book for 10 years. There's not a lot of interesting things in that book.
I was just trying to find perhaps some clues about Zikram, or some other information, but it seems, yes, that this book is lacking, and I believe it was quite boring for you.
Yes, tremendously so.
But where were you taken then from?
Let's do a small break, and I'll figure that out.
Okay, because I'm gonna ask his backstory now, so you can prep that.
I'll bumble something probably.
It's like the D&D sketch was like, is it time? DM is like, time for what? We've been talking about this for months now. Is it really the time? I walk up to the Jin and ask, what's your name?
And just something absolutely of no importance at all.
Nope.
Yes.
I guess what's the original? Like playing his origin.
We will get to that after the break.
Yes,
Alright.
I'll
Stay
make
with
some
us,
tea.
public viewers. Yes.
Stay with us while we waste your time.
Yes.
I know it might be like RP and character development. Who knows? Maybe he'll become a good friend of ours.
Yes, because we haven't asked him what he gonna do after we release.
He said he wants to like feg off and go home. But yes, we can also ask that. We can ask a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, can we join him as well? Like, and travel to Plane of Fire?
Let me show you the world.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
By the way, which spell did Warden bot have bot?
Wolfparos here. Something escape, a first level spell, a bonus action spell that allows you to dash with the bonus action.
Ah, okay.
He the two bad insight rolls indicate that he was scammed, kinda.
I have returned.
Hello, you.
As prophesied, I come at dawn. Or sunfall, or whatever the freaking time it is.
It's after sunset time.
I assume, given your research on stuff.
Let me conduct research what time it is.
Hmm.
Ah, it is dark.
Now that
Do you
would be
have
like survive. No, that would be nature probably. Brave nature roll. Ah, yes, it's
Survival.
dark. Or like perception roll.
you survived? You survived it.
There's a video about a bed that folds up, and if you fold it up, you can actually extend some of the pieces to do your exercises like pull-ups and deadlifts and stuff. So it's a rack.
Nice.
I hate cardio so much that I don't want to walk out of my bed and do exercises.
I'll try to get a good screenshot of the bed.
Wolf, do you have like enlarge and shrink spell?
I don't think I had them.
Would you like to buy? To cause
Then you have to
shenanigans?
help me buy it because I suck at buying. I bought a level 1 spell for 210 GP. I'm more blunter than a hammer. What level spell is it anyway? Ah, level 2.
Mhm.
You may recommend it to Warden and then we may go shopping together.
I recommend the spell to Warden to buy. I feel like we can cause some extravagant actions with that.
Wait,
It's a good idea.
the bed device, is it like you how does it work?
You take off the top bar and then you fold the legs inside.
Okay.
And then you open the bed and it's connected to the wall and it's just hovering.
Okay.
You have a pull-up bar. You can, well, it's a rack as you can see, and
Mhm.
then you can pull out the middle bars that are like below the screen, so you can do dips.
That seems
And
actually
yeah.
a cool thing.
Mhm.
Okay, moving forward. You asked the Jin.
Oh yes. Yes.
Yes.
Where do you come from? Where do you go? Where did you come and cut and show?
Well, as you can see, I'm a water Chinese, and I was summoned by Sikran. It was a decently powerful summoning spell, during which I was, I guess, bound to him, and thus I was kind of, served him, hoping to gain my freedom. Otherwise, I come from where I suppose all Chineses come from, or from the elemental plane.
Was there a reason he chose a water genasi, not the other elements? Would you happen to know?
No idea. I think it wasn't of really importance. I think it was more, the general knowledge that he gained from us. And I'm not really sure if it would have been, how different it would have been if it was another Chinese.
Do you have professions in the elemental plane?
Sure, I guess I was a wizard, or I am a wizard. And there are many others who, have, I guess, occupation. No, I'm not sure if you can call them occupations, but more like desires, maybe. We don't really have, wait, actually, I have to look it up for a second. Otherwise, I'm going to do something weird, I think. Plane.
There's another project where there's a bed in the ceiling. You push the button and the platform of bed comes down.
Oh, yes. There's not only Chineses in the elemental planes, there are other creatures also. And we have to get by. Same way how everyone, I guess, has to.
What creatures?
Well, turtles, maybe. Maybe a dragon or two.
I see. Did you have a family there?
No.
So once you get free, what do you do?
Get the fuck out of here.
Back to the elemental plane?
For sure. I've seen enough of your greedy sons of bitches to last a lifetime.
Yes, greed is a one big sin.
Well, that is true, actually. Should be a larger person, don't judge a whole species by one, but if there's one like him and he hasn't been punished, there are others. And I'd much rather not be here rather than be here because of it.
That said, aren't similar personalities in your plane also?
Sure.
So I presume it is the first impressions that gives us the most information.
But I don't usually get kidnapped maybe some people will get kidnapped, but you know, I don't know. There's a larger chance that I'll get kidnapped here than I will back at home.
Once you return to home, are we able to keep somehow communication with you, perhaps?
Depends.
On how do we follow out on our adventure, I presume.
Depends on if I like you or not. Well, you know, if you screw me over or something, then probably not. If not, maybe.
Understandable. Warden looks at the fleshy companions and then turns back to the Genasi. Is there something you would wish to do on this plane before we go to the wizard?
Me? Not really.
Yes. I don't fucking know how to small talk with the Genasi. Out game.
Is there anything you want to do on this plane before going to the wizard?
What do you mean? What are you hinting? Will I die? Oh no.
No, Genasi asked you.
I believe I will be here for quite a long time in this plane.
Well, yeah, I guess you are not the typical flesh and bone creature.
Quite observant of you. I am not. Pre-tell, you before mentioned that you have seen my kind before. Where was it?
Have I?
Yes, in the beginning when we opened, you said don't see many of me around. My
Oh.
kind.
Well, I guess, yeah, there was like years ago, before I was trapped here, there was a mercenary, among others, that was also built out of wood and metal. I think he called himself something like the Guardsman, or I don't know, something stupid like you do, you know, title-wise. I didn't really get to know him that well. I just noted him.
Do you remember where did you see him?
It must have been somewhere around. Oh no, no, it's good. I think it was when we were going towards Cormyr to see if we could find what was it called? The artifact of flying, or something along those lines. Don't remember his name. And along the desert, we needed we hired someone to protect us. You know, travel can be quite dangerous. The mercenary group, I think it was something like the Falcons or Ravens or something related to birds. And they offered a decent, a reasonable price for a decent amount of decently seasoned warriors.
I see. Were you able to observe his personality, perhaps?
Again, I didn't get to really know him. He didn't talk much. And yeah, he didn't really talk about his past or anything, so I wouldn't know.
I see. And it was the only encounter you have had with Warforges.
Yes.
Thank you for the information. It is quite enlightening.
Sure.
About this plan we have, by the way, how do you feel about it going to talk with the wizard first?
Do you ask the genie that?
Yes.
Sure, you can try. Maybe they'll listen to a fellow human more than me. Well, he turns towards Liron, a fellow human.
Yes, definitely. Partly
Is he
human.
perhaps a speciesist?
I wouldn't. He can tend to get a little stereotypical, but I don't think at heart he really cares, or I guess he doesn't really care about anything apart from his recognition.
Then it is good that we have you, Liron, as our human.
I think he more has like ideas about what makes a great wizard, and I guess that kind of leaks into assumptions, or so to say.
So, would you like to buy spells before we march on?
Yes, we need to enlarge and whatever. You have to show where and haggle the price for me.
Do you need the enlarge?
It will be fun point, I guess. It gives advantage in the melee attacks if you throw like one of our warriors in front line or whatever.
Or they would be big enough to stomp on someone?
Or when we need to disable an enemy, just make him small.
So, what did you bought that spell?
I bought my level 1 spell at the command shop.
Mundane spells.
Mundane spells, yes.
Do you go there?
As far as I understand, I wasn't with the warden that time.
But yes, I tell you where the store is and I guide you to the store.
Did you like the service there?
They offered what I requested, yes.
I guess let's go there. And ask
Marvelous.
Though the spell spell prices are quite hefty. I believe it is to do with the market that he checked in his tablet. For the level 1 spell, I had to pay 210 gold.
That's quite a lot, I would say. I think you bought some spells before. And were they same price?
I wasn't in the same, no, I haven't. I can't remember when I bought spells. Have I bought spells?
I don't think so.
Huh?
I think you did while we were here previously.
You copied
I
a
kinda-
spell once.
Yes, I kind of recall ever like buying
Ah,
spells.
Yeah.
I copied from the books that I have. Wait, do I have it in there? Perhaps. Give me a second.
Enlarge.
Yeah, it's not there. Yeah, it's not there. Interesting spells, though. We should check out one time.
So do you wish to visit the mundane spells?
I guess we can visit and I'll ask Uncle Liron to see what the prices are. Maybe he can haggle.
Hmm.
That's what we do. I guess we go to the shop. What do we see?
You see, well, it is nighttime. There are no longer people there. The doors are locked.
I try to look what's inside.
Books, couches, a counter. A door leads to some room in the back.
God damn it. My brain kind of proposed me, fuck it, let's break in.
No, we shall not.
Free spells for everyone.
Learn all the cantrips.
I say, I tried to unlock the door. Well, like, you know, check if it's really closed.
Yes, it is indeed.
I guess the shop is closed now. I look around, at least if there are any other shop is open nearby.
It seems like in Candlekeep also, shops close at evenings. There are a couple of taverns open though.
I guess we should spend the time if we require the spell.
I guess that's what we could do.
Warden looks around. Liron, what free time activities do you partake in? We may try doing this bonding thing. I have heard that this works well on morale.
What kind of drinks you drink?
None.
Okay. That might be tough.
Well, that narrows down everything. It's literally everything I do.
So what do you do at your free time? And I guess let's walk to nearest tavern as well.
Free time.
The Willow, it is called. The nearest tavern. You can see there are a couple of groups of people there having a drink, eating some mutton.
Hold on, I have an idea. Liron, have you played the game called chess?
It was quite long ago.
Perhaps we can do a game of wits in that game. I have currently 38 prisoners, so we may use them as pieces. There is 32 pieces required.
Oh, that's marvelous.
I do believe that the prisoners are not against it, and they will gladly use their services to entertain us.
Let's try that. But where can we find the open space? And I guess we need to draw something to mark the place.
I believe we can go to a beachy, sandy location, or find maybe the Candlekeep has their own chess area. If not, we can also use rope and other equipment.
So you wish to look for an open area?
Yes,
Yeah.
where we might set up something to play chess, like either a squared area or whatever, and then use like precisionation or something like that to temporarily color the blocks.
Sure, there's an open area right in front of the tavern.
Like in a manner that don't get in the way of the other people.
Sure, it's like a communal area, you know, benches and trees and stuff. A communal, like a park sort of thing.
Will this fit you?
Well, we can definitely try. I guess I would mark the area with rope, like the square, and you can try to draw the square, like small squares, where the pieces would go like skeletons.
Wait one moment. Chess.com, play chess for free. Oh my god.
No, we don't want to play real chess. Come on, man.
Are you sure?
We can do maybe retrospective, or do we? God
Uh,
damn it, I don't want to play.
Are you
intelligent.
sure you don't want to play chess?
How about we don't play chess this time, but maybe the next time?
But it's on the web and we can stream it and
I ain't no big brain like Warden. Warden has like very big brain. I have very small brain. Warden has a giga brain.
I'm
no,
not,
technically Warden has Gigabrain, yeah. Ah,
Let's do that. We roll this time, and next time maybe we'll play like online, because playing
Ah.
online it's gonna take forever also. And yeah, I can't be as smart as Warden.
we can do like the split the blitz chess thing 5 minutes around.
No.
Whatever it goes.
Let's roll this time. Roll this time. Roll this time.
Oh, so sad.
Another time.
But let's do blind chess, like we have no board and we're just saying what you move where.
Oh yeah, it's like in the old times. I really love it. Like pre World War I or something like that. Old people didn't have internet, so they just sent by mail. Like, what move do they do? And like, let's say one dude was in America, one in Estonia, and like one dude, both of them set up their table at like generic, and then the white just sent by mail like what move he does, and he moved on his piece. The dude in America got it. He did the move on the white side, and then he thought like what move he does as black. He did his move and sent by mail what move the black did, and so it went back and forth.
Are any of you proficient in chess?
I have big brain.
I have smaller brain.
Yes, both of you roll. Let's do it.
Intelligence.
Let's actually gamify this somehow.
Best of 3 or 5.
No.
Microtransactions.
Roll intelligence, just pure intelligence, and this will be the opening phase of the game. Yes. Yes. Oh no! What did you do, Liron? I'm sorry, Liron, but Warden was Warden did the 3-move wind move. Whatever it was, where you moved the bishop in a position where it catches the king in its own position and then you win. Like very fast in the game, whatever the move.
Yeah, it's the classical mistake that some beginners do. That basically you just yeah, I know the move. I have been catched by it. It feels bad, man.
Yes, sadly, Liron, he's a little bit rusty. He didn't think things through, and in the opening, he straight out lost the game. 1 point to Warden.
I guess I demand replay. Yeah, replay.
Rematch.
The Warden
Rematch.
skeleton that has a helmet on it playfully stabs the Liron's skeleton that has a cape. Yes, that's definitely.
Yes, and it does like a dramatic death scene because the sword can actually go through its ribcage.
Yes, he tries to do a death scene, but he is kept upright because the sword is through his ribcage. He has a tough time trying to fall down.
He'll manage on the side.
Do you wish to continue another game?
Well, Liron wished a rematch, and Warden does not sleep, so technically yes.
Well then. First stage, the opening, intelligence. Thank you.
By the way, not the saving throw, I guess.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
just straight out
yeah.
intelligence.
Yeah, this time I pressed it correctly.
So actually, okay. So actually, Warden rolled a 3 last time.
Not 3, 8. I have +5.
Sure.
Ooh.
Oh, interesting. This time, Liron got his shit together.
Hold on. Give me a second.
19 against, yeah.
I can roll for lucky.
Oh
If you
no,
wish.
you're cheating.
Doesn't help.
You see, you basically, the lucky helped you somewhat. You at first you wanted to put a piece into some slot that would have cost you maybe a piece or something, but then you saw the glint in Liron's eyes, and you knew Liron knew, and then you knew, and then you retracted that space, that move. All in all, a very solid beginning to a game. Liron has a slight edge, a decent edge. Let's be honest now. And now comes the meat part of the game, where I wish both of you to roll which should it be? Roll a charisma, just a pure charisma roll, because now comes the game where you start bluffing and planning moves on whether to go one direction or the other direction. And yes, a lot of brain games is gonna work here. Definitely charisma.
Quoting the D&D meme. Why do you hate me? Oh!
Oh, well, there you have it. There you have it. Children and Folk, a very solid game in the mid phase. Neck and neck. Very, very decent, I guess, peace, I guess, exchanges. Yes, definitely. One moves to attack, the other moves to defend. Very solid. Barely
Liron
any...
cannot read Warden's expressions.
That is also possible, yes. Still, Liron has a slight edge from the beginning of the game, but it's still, who knows for whom it goes. And as the game transitions to end phase, roll a wisdom, just a pure wisdom. This is where years of knowledge come into play, and rote memorization, and yep.
Oh no.
So on and so forth.
You have a high chance of winning. What? You used Archon's luck?
You didn't yet even roll wisdom.
Really?
Wasn't
Yeah,
this?
you didn't.
This was Liron. This was Warden's roll.
That was Warden, yeah.
Okay, I thought like the 6 was mine.
Oh no.
Maybe you didn't press it, like you dragged it. Oh, interesting. Very interesting.
I see you're also a man of wisdom.
Yes.
I see
sounds
both
like
of
me.
you have a deep knowledge on life. Definitely. You have experienced a lot and decided a lot. Very interesting. Very interesting. The end
I'll
game.
my-
Neck and neck. Truly, both of you make so many fucking mistakes that you're no idea who has the edge. Truly an appalling game. At first you would have thought, oh my god, these guys have potential, but now you're not so sure. If I mean, like the couple of bystanders that walk by, and some that are onlookers on the first ever official Candlekeep Skeleton chess match. Definitely first one.
Either we're stupid or so smart that nobody understands the giga brain moves we do.
The end phase slightly comes to an end as well. It's almost to the end as both of you have lost the majority of your pieces. Liron has one extra piece rather than Warden. And as we end it, as your time starts ticking down, as nerves start wrecking, let's do a last roll on. Let's do it dexterity roll. Yes. Now it's just a matter of moving fast, putting pressure on your enemy, and trying to capture the king. Yes.
Oh!
Oh, and an
machine
amazing
never
upset on
tires.
Warden's part. His machine brain knows exactly. He finally gets to a point where he can calculate all of the pieces, like efficiently. He can calculate like 10 moves into the future just because there are so many, not enough pieces, I guess. So little pieces, so few pieces. And I would have actually given Liron like a +1 to the dexterity just because he had like an advantage in the early. But sorry to say, Warden wins this one. Also, very close game. Very close game.
That was tight.
Started well, but ended poorly, and then it was just domination on Warden's part. He just checkmated you, and you're gone.
It's really hard to compete with your machine brain.
It was a good game, Lira, nonetheless. Perhaps you are tired and wish refreshment in the establishment nearby.
I guess yes, we could do that.
Some of the onlookers that are out for an evening stroll clap the ending of the game. Clap for the nice match, some of them even say. A very interesting take on a very traditional game, one comments. Some even take pictures with magical cameras, and some record their thoughts on the game on a magical voice recorder. Yes, and slowly the people, I guess, disperse as they see that there won't be a third game.
Yes, we move inside the tavern and I know. I look around. What do we see?
People, chairs, tables, drinks, food, barman, barwoman actually. Let's spice this up.
No, a girl.
Oh, I break into hives. I start sweating
Break in.
profusely.
Wow, spaghetti.
A couple of the onlookers join you to the inn and offer to buy you a drink. A good match, really. Really interesting way to play the game. Could I offer you a drink? Mayhaps, sir.
I guess I totally wouldn't mind.
What's your poison? What do you fancy?
I guess a ale.
Grab this man an ale. He slams 2 gold coins on the counter, and for me, also, and your friend, of course, I suppose.
No, I do not require nourishment.
Well,
But I am
no
still
ale for
open.
him, more for us.
I'm keen to hear about the magic stories and other such interests.
What about the magic store?
Stories.
Well, I ain't got none. I'm just a regular Joe. However, I would like to take your interviews for the magic paper.
Why?
It just seems like an interesting story. 2 blokes playing chess with skeletons on an evening.
We were just. God, ma ei tea, kuidas öelda. It was not just a game, it was a way of increasing morale and sharpening our wits.
Well,
Do you
isn't
not
that
have
what?
chess?
Well, sharpening your wits, interesting way to put it. Especially that move in the end game. And that awful mistake that your friend here made in the stages of the game. Really awful. The beginning, however, very nice. I agree. Both of you seem to be quite experienced in the game. At least it felt that in the beginning. In the later, it felt like you were amateurs, but that's beside the point. You say. But, you know, increasing morale, you say, but, you know, that's how other people say to have fun, right?
I believe that is equivalent, yes.
Anywho, Jimson, he offers a hand.
I stare and just say, the warden.
Very well. He offers an hand to Liran.
I shake the hand and pronounce my name.
Well met. As you could probably already assume, I'm an editor in the Magic paper. I write, well, for the most part, Candlekeep news are, I guess, you know, the boring stuff, magic research and magical beasts, not a lot of interesting stuff. So every now and then, if something like this happens, well, it gets the nerds raving. It could even be an interesting take on the game, or, you know, like a tradition of sorts, even a magic between wizards, but a magic of chess.
Does
Yes.
Candlekeep not have magical piece chess in any sort of way? I would have imagined a city full of wizards as such would have created some kind of contraption.
Why would you magic chess? I don't quite see the point of it, seeing as moving pieces with your arms is simple enough, no?
I guess it all depends how far the casters are and how much spectacle they wish to show.
Yes,
What was the latest magical thing that was created in this city?
latest magical thing that was created?
Yes.
Huh. Well, I guess the more interesting one was what was it called? F-13, as he called it itself. A one-way, one-man magical, I guess he called it aero travel. A fast way to fly a thing from one point to another. Wasn't really successful, but I guess it was a thing at least. Wasn't
There are
really.
a lot of yes.
It really worked only with wizards that had featherfall. Some were in some experiments. One experiment ended in total disaster when the wizard forgot that he didn't have any spell slots available any longer. A tragic, really.
Outgame, it reminds of Morrowind. Like in the beginning.
It reminds me of me mounting a devil and forgetting that I ran out of spells, and he was kind enough to put me on the ground. But I tell nothing about that. Just like maybe blush a bit.
Acceptable. Otherwise, you know, the whole city is basically just a hogwash of snobs.
That is regrettable.
As you know, the commerce sector are more like the entrepreneurs don't reach deep enough into here to get proper research done, you know, practical stuff. So the researchers more spend time on doing what they call the real questions. I don't know, so hogwash on how to efficiently cast spells, or I don't know, invent new spells, or something or another that will never be used in real life. So yeah, this story might actually interest some people. Might create think of what if this actually was for entertainment, to make chess popular again. Have skeletons actually bash each other. Two necromancers face to face against each other. This might actually be a sport befitting of Candlekeep. Who would have thought?
Indeed. Indeed.
Another
Chess
drink?
Warden Edition.
I guess this round on me. And I order 2 ales. Have you heard anything about the Wizard of Zikron?
I think it rings a bell. Wasn't there something about the book that couldn't be opened or something?
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, I think. I think he was the wizard that couldn't accomplish anything or something or another. I think he was thrown out of Candlekeep or something.
Oh no.
Why?
Yes. Why?
I'd assume he gave false research papers or something. I don't know. Hit someone wrong. I couldn't remember. It was, I think, years ago. Anywho, it's like nothing important. Why do you ask him about him?
Just researching about the Flame Castles. I guess we're interested in that.
Ah, yes, the fun of the 1% of the 1%, of course, understandable. The tools to pierce the skies, the ships that can travel between dimensions, the fortresses that can fly, and the, I guess, god-killing weaponry. Yes, all extremely expensive research and so on and so forth. Wouldn't know any though. If I saw any, then I definitely want to ride in one, but I don't know. So getting back to the topic, would you be interested in an exhibition match of necromancer chess against another necromancer?
I guess. What do you think, Warden? You kind of beat me twice.
I might not be the fully proficient, but I may try if it's for the benefit of the magic, whatever.
It's for the benefit of money, of course. It can be a lucrative business, but if is it, I have no idea. I wouldn't really know how. Don't think chess is that popular any longer. But it can be an interesting way to make it popular. Everyone likes battles. And,
So what's your idea?
well, we perform it, but the skeletons attack each other. You know, when you defeat the pawn, you whack its head off. To make it
Well-
more visual.
I would say that's kind of expensive.
Is it? This town is full of wizards. They all got spell slots to resurrect the dead.
That's the thing. Do you have the dead?
Sure,
Where you get those?
for the morgue.
Okay.
So you use your own undeads,
Yeah.
and I
You-
do
you
not
could-
have
you
to use
create
my
a-
prisoners.
What was that?
And I do not have to use my prisoners.
No. You use your skeletons, and he would use his. You know, like a league of necromancers. Who can be the most powerful necromantic chess player? You can even customize your own skeletons to look like your team or something, like, you know.
So what we get from playing that game, because we would definitely lose some resources and effort.
What resources? There's just skeletons.
Yep, but we have to get those back somewhere.
Well, casts the whatever it was, summon skeleton duty or skeleton, whatever it was called. I mean, you're not gonna lose the skeletons if they're that precious to you. You just resummon them. But for like what to gain, I give you like 10 gold or something. If the exhibition map dash is popular, then I don't know, if someone has money, we could like make it a thing, a tournament. The League of Extraordinary Necromancers.
Oh, at least I know the man who would promote Ukrak.
Well, this entertainment in between matches and a good commentator would be God-given. Well received, even.
At what time shall you have it set up?
I don't know, tomorrow?
We may attempt this.
It won't be
For our
anything
boost.
big, but we will like promote it a little bit and try to get some folk watching in the evening. Tomorrow evening, probably. Yeah.
I do not know how I shall perform against this necromancer, but I shall try.
Magnificent!
Liran, are you okay with this?
Yeah, sure.
Uh,
Hannibal
he writes
staring in the
something.
corner.
He writes something on a piece of paper, hands it to you. Meet me in front of the what's it? The news organization. Yeah, whatever. In front of the news organization at 7 o'clock tomorrow in the evening. He hands you an address on the paper. And call for James Simpson. And we'll handle anything from there. Just play chess and that's it. Have your necromancers ready. Maybe even spruce them up if you want. We'll first, of course, help you also to look a little bit fancier. The whole robot thing can be incorporated into your skeletons, definitely. The iron steel of chess, yeah. Steel gold killer of pawns. The capturer of kings. No, that's bad. Something related to you as an individual. You have to radiate it, have to make it popular, knowing how there are not a lot of walking tin cans around. We can definitely make it work. Definitely.
I
Yeah.
guess he walks away while thinking those things.
See you tomorrow, he says.
We shall see you.
Get plenty of sleep and get your game face on. And he waddles out after drinking the duels.
After a small, quiet moment, the warden turns towards Liron. He spoke in riddles. What were the last things he spoke of? He was talking about sprucing game faces and such more.
I guess all he meant just like be prepared to do your best.
It all seems rather childish, but I guess we can see and perhaps widen our influence area.
Yeah, why not? Let's have some fun.
Yes, fun.
Do you get enjoyment from winning the battles?
Do you gain
No.
anything? Oh no, that was enjoyment. Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Why should I? What was the question again? Can you repeat it?
Do you feel anything when you win the battles?
Why should I feel anything?
Well, that's my question. Well, you definitely risk, for example, lives of your prisoners, at least, and maybe your own at most.
The prisoners are fulfilling their duty, and if they are to entertain people, it is their duty. Besides, if they are just kick their heads off or some other, as he mentioned, then I can just reanimate them. And my life, as far as I know, was not in danger.
Yeah, in this case, that's true. But in general, during the heat of the battle,
Why should I lose composure?
what does it mean? Come on.
Composure, how you keep your cool and stuff like that.
Okay. Maybe some thrill of the battle.
Why would someone get so overworked over chess?
And it was a general question as well, not just chess. Or you mean every battle is just chess?
No, every battle is not chess. I'm just fulfilling my duty when I'm apprehending evildoers and such. Do you, Liron, feel anything when you capture someone or kill someone?
I guess I have to admit I enjoy just the process of overcoming the odds and staying alive.
But do you enjoy killing?
Do I truly enjoy? I would say no. I guess, as you might know, it's like precious resources are wasted, precious lives and such.
But why do you kill then?
Well, we all want to live.
Are there not spells or tactics that cause enemies to be captured alive?
As you remember, we do try to do that if we can.
I think our approaches have been quite lacking thus far.
I guess we have to think about our tactics and maybe, use just some other types of spells. Or combat approaches.
Warden thinks a little bit. I wonder if we can perhaps somehow prepare for the tomorrow's battle in chess. Perhaps some common used moves and such from the library.
We could go there. I guess we spent like a day, so I would assume Liron is kind of a bit tired.
Well, the library is quite often closed also at night.
Yeah, that's the thing. But we definitely can check if there are like common strategies.
Mm-hmm.
I guess let's try to go to library.
Right now?
In the morning.
In the
in
morning.
the morning.
Okay, in the morning.
I don't have many spells that give me benefits also in the chess, so yeah. So I presume it's gonna be just raw with no magic.
Unless you want to do something with magic. I cast fireball at enemy. Now I decide to move my pawn.
Oh no, I cast Finger of Death on my enemy.
Oh no, I
Oops!
slipped, and instead of using Command Undead, I actually used the Finger of Death on you. Sorry.
I'm just a
Honest.
blunder. I used the
Oh,
wrong spell. They're all the same.
yeah.
Oops, I cast fireball. All of his skeletons are dead. Oops! Do
I
I
guess we'll
win?
never know what pieces did he have. It's like pushing over the table.
No wonder. I'm a grandmaster. I'm a level 9 Vexor Necromancer. I've got like million skeletons.
Oh my god.
I'm the grandmaster of necromantic chess. Even though it was just developed.
I'm just gonna imagine that it's gonna be like Yu-Gi-Oh battle or something like that.
Prepare to duel!
I will send you to the Shadow Realm. Believe in the
My,
heart of the chess pieces.
my board does not have any weak skeletons. My grandfather's skeletons are the best. And he only has like grandfather skeletons.
The old withered grandfather's skeletons.
They're all
I
like,
see.
yeah, exactly.
Old men.
Oh my god, this is so good. So meme
I
worthy.
guess. Yeah, I guess like getting Ukrakter is also is gonna do something stupid there. I guess.
If we want, we can do the actual battle next time.
If you want, we can do it today also. Like if Dima wants, we can just push it.
I mean, I'm partially sleeping, so it's more up to you. I'm just here to support.
Yeah, we can do it today if you want.
Yeah, let's go.
Then the next time we can do the actual quest of the wizard.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll
Sure.
fulfill my lucky points. I'm gonna need those.
Do you get 2 separate rooms or does Warden just sit in the corner while Liron sleeps in the same room?
I just sit in a corner or outside. It doesn't matter to me.
Sure. But the next morning comes. The birds are chirping. The children are screaming for ice cream, of course.
Oh,
And
it's got here.
and delirious homeless men are rambling about the, I don't know, end of the world and not getting enough money to buy bread. Maybe both. However, that's not important. What is important is what do you have for breakfast?
Yes, Diran. What nutrients do you consume?
Please, your best hummus.
I desire a 3-course meal ending with a large duck, please. I wish it to be cooked at least for 15 hours, but I wish to have it now. Thank you. It should be moist and soft, but also cooked thoroughly. And a lot of wine that accompanies it perfectly. Thank you. And for very cheap also, yes, thank you. That's my ideal breakfast. Okay.
And a soft-boiled egg from a chicken who is excellently kept and pedicured, and who has a successful man.
Yes. I wish to eat scared eggs. Eggs whose parents were murdered right in front of said eggs. And I would like to do the murdering, thank you.
Oh my god, that's so awful.
So anyway, next day.
Yeah. You eat some porridge or whatever. I don't know. Drink a cup of coffee.
Yep.
And you're ready for the morning or for the adventuring. You've got 12 hours or so before you have to meet up with others with news. James Jameson. Yes.
Did he say that the sprucing up can be done when we get there?
Yes, he basically said that they will help with making you presentable.
Okay. Then I guess we'll go to the library and learn as much as we can about chess.
What sort of information are you looking about on chess?
Starter moves and middle game common mistakes, tips and tricks, and less known tactics, like how to catch your opponent off guard and such.
Give me an investigation roll on that, thank you.
Do we investigate both?
I'd assume Warden because he wants to comprehend it.
God damn it.
It's one of those like comprehend. Okay.
You can like be a practice partner if you're like practicing something, but otherwise, if he's the one playing, then he has to be the one to learn. Makes sense.
I can try to explain. Can I learn those as well?
Of course.
Then I can explain here. Investigation.
You start the first 30 minutes on, I guess, re-evaluating your last game. You comprehend quite a bit on the mistakes you made. Of course, does that mean that you won't make these mistakes again? Probably not, but you at least know you are kind of rusty and played it for, I don't know, a long time, I guess. At least a year, I'd assume, something like that.
Probably more.
And then you after maybe a quick matchup of playing against each other, a simple game, you go about actually learning, trying to, given that you don't have all the time in the world, you prioritize. What do you prioritize? How do you prioritize your knowledge? You cannot learn the whole game of chess in a single day. How do you focus? How do you decide this is more important? I will focus on this.
Hold on.
I cast time stop, so now I have infinite time. How long did time stop last? It was 9 as well, I think. Time stop. Yes. You briefly stop the flow of time. No time passes while you take 1d4 + 1 turns in a row.
Yeah, it's the level 9 spell. It's basically OP. Every wizard must have it.
Well, then again, when you're level 9, you have like a lot of spells.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
are
that
super
spell is
OP.
really...
I think most of the spells on 4th level are so kind of OP. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, like, just the time stop is the ideal due to the fact that you can prepare so many things in that small time. Or you can run away, you know?
Yes. Okay, mister. Yes.
If
So what do you prioritize on?
check the traits from Crusader Kings.
Okay.
They have like good traits that basically for the fight. Maybe something that you can use, or just those things that Nick said in the beginning when we played, like the game, part of the game, like start, mid, or what else.
It's just like a free flow thing, you know. You don't have all the time in the world, so just how would, if you were in this position, how would you overcome? How would you try to get an edge over your opponent, who we know nothing about, of course, but nevertheless.
Like flanking, direct attacks, defense, better defense. I don't know.
I guess it's because he might be of flesh and bone, then learn some more robust like actions. Like I'm a machine, and maybe I can do like machine movements a bit faster, and like work in a way how it taxes the flesh and bone somehow. Like use my racial thing as an advantage.
Sounds really interesting. I understood nothing.
Yes, we'll do that then.
Yes.
It's probably not what you meant, but maybe like if you mean like machine, maybe like you would try to brute force all the possible moves in certain situations where you take like a long time to decide, but maybe you decide on a safe choice of move.
Yes.
You try to develop a tactic that you can use, but probably other flesh and blood humans cannot.
Yes.
Try to work your inner processing unit to the best, to the max of its limits.
Correctus.
Very well. How long do you wish to invest in trying to gain said skill?
Because I don't have anything else planned then until I have to go to the Jimmy boy.
Very interesting, very interesting. Then, there's no luck skill.
I have lucky.
No, that's not important.
Mm-hmm.
It's purely something.
I guess during the game, I'll just say when I get something.
Let's see. Wait. I want you to roll something to see if you can maybe possibly gain it. I think it's because you're going to invest all of your time into trying to gain like an advantage on just pure rote memorization or like process of elimination. Then, and along with, of course, Leron's help if he helps you.
Yep, I did.
Roll me and like something like roll me an insight check with advantage. You try to see into yourself, to try to find a reflex among yourself, inside yourself, to find the correct bias code to override your safety mechanism so that you can allocate most of your processing unit on trying to decipher movements in the future. Yes, exactly. But it's purely for just playing chess.
Yes.
14. Interesting. Once during a game, you can decide to roll at any one of those 4 stages, like the beginning, end, middle, end, and the finale. You can decide to roll a single dice at in advantage. but you have to decide beforehand, and it cannot be used in a blitz game. Yes, very good. If the, yeah. Because it takes a
Wait,
long
do I
time
have
for you to decide it.
Do I have to say it before rolling it or
Yes.
after I rolled it?
Before you build your memory up, and because the rolling is basically you playing it, but you do the processing before you like decide to move the piece.
And when is the blitz game?
It's just like you cannot use this ability when playing in a game where you have to move fast, like move pieces
so-
fast.
Wait, so I'll keep it for any chess game.
Yes,
Oh, okay, then I have to write it down even.
it's
What is the
a
ability
chess
called?
only special racial ability that you now unlocked yourself.
Chess overclock.
Yes. There is a detriment to it. You can only use it 3 times a day, like on 3 separate games, right? If you use it more, then bad stuff happens to you. You get overclocked. You start overheating.
Hmm.
Do you have a chill touch?
I don't know. I had something with ice, I guess.
Do I
If he
need
wants-
to?
If he wants to, like, I don't know. When we get there, you can decide on if you want to try to subvert it. I will not give
Yeah,
any answers if it's possible to do it or if it's not possible or if there's any like problems, setbacks, consequences.
I don't have the spell of chill touch, but I can do the same with cold word, I guess.
But in most cases, it doesn't matter. It's an exhibition match, so from that you can relatively certainly be sure that it will only be probably a single game. Yes. Is there anything else you wish to accomplish before doing the thing?
Can't think of any right now.
Do I get the exhaustion from like intense thinking?
Do you want to?
Sure, I guess you can get a single exhaustion point from trying to think like Warden, even though being a weak being of flesh and blood. But because you helped him, he acquired a new sense of perspective about himself. His newfound enjoyment of chess, maybe even, I don't know. Maybe not, I don't know, depends on Warden.
I guess if we have the time, I'll take the quick nap. I guess if there is a perk like fast sleeper, the Warlock should get it.
Yeah, I think only long rest like kills exhaustion, right? Yeah.
Okay. Then, yeah.
Okay. But you probably won't go into combat, or unless you wish to go to
Yeah.
combat.
I don't want to be one of the pieces on the board.
Oh, and now when Warden is playing, I'm going to stealthily pull down the opponent's pants.
God damn it. That would be fun thing to do.
Mockery.
Yes.
God damn it,
Unfortunately,
God!
I'm not
Don't
a
give
monk.
ideas. Don't ruin this chance for Warden. For flame and glory. Flame. But yeah, you wrap up, you steal your mind, and you meet up with James Jameson, I guess, right? No? Yes, probably.
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful, he says. You can see the dark eyes, the eye circles under his eyes, I guess. I stayed up all night. In the morning, I published a paper on your magnificent game. I hand out flyers. This is going to be, well, maybe not big, but big enough for a sport event in a town full of nerds. Now, have you chosen your skeletons that will partake in this match?
Huh? Can you repeat the last?
Have you chosen the skeletons that will partake in the match?
Yes.
Cool, cool. Follow me with them upstairs. We're going to give you a flair, a certain flair. You know, for the audience.
Yes.
Okay. You all of you kind of, yeah. It's a largish room. When you went upstairs, you of course saw many interesting machinery. Mostly it seemed to be built around like recording texts and printing papers and so on. There were many people bustling about, but you followed him to an upstairs, to a room full of different types of costumes. This is the a changing room. We have like a photo studio close by, where we kind of, you know, freshen up the interviewees, as they say. And for you, Gordon, we have to think of a theme to really catch the public's attention, to make you shine. You have anything in particular you wish to be seen as, or anything you don't wish to be seen as?
I am the warden, and I am usually seen as that and wish to see as a warden.
So a police uniform.
I am not the police, I am a warden.
An officer, maybe?
I am a warden, a keeper of prisoners.
Well, that seems to be something a law enforcement agent would do, right?
I presume.
So if we were to say, put you in a uniform, make you maybe put some war, I guess, trophies on your chest and make you look like a little bit war generalish, that would fit your image, I would assume.
I have no concern of the image as long as the purpose is fulfilled.
Hmm.
Ivan perhaps can give some advice on such things. I am not that well accustomed with it.
Yes. I do believe a man such as yourself, being quite stoic and showing little emotion, would fit a war general image quite decently. The iron face of death. No, that seems too dark. We need something a little bit lighter. Something to catch the aim of the viewers. The hero of the desert. Yes, they're all skeletons, so in a way it would work, maybe. Do I have some more Middle Eastern-ish clothing? Ah, yes, of course I do. Very, yeah, it works, it works. Do we have enough for all the skeletons? Ah, I'll make it work, he says.
Some of them are zombies, by the way.
No problem. Do you put the zombies in certain positions on the chessboard? specific positions? Like more important maybe, or like a knight or a bishop or a queen and king?
I guess like mostly the skeletons are like the front pieces and zombies are like the other pieces.
How many zombies do you have?
I have 10 zombies and 23
No,
skeletons.
then yeah, you can decide on whatever.
Yeah, I guess it's because it's 1, 2, 3, 4,
Hmm.
5, 6, 7, 8 per line. So
Yeah.
I guess it's pawns are skeletons and zombies are the other things.
Interesting. Very well. So Middle Easternish hero of the desert. Yes. We will. The skeletons will have like simple turbans and maybe like overhead coats. Simple rusty scimitars maybe. Yes. And depending on the position of the zombie, he will have a little bit more extra flair. Like the knight should be like a veteran soldier. Yes. A bishop should be a traditional more like holy man of the desert, having a little bit, I guess, more clothing on. The king having a little bit more gold on him, or of course we won't give him real gold, but makeshift gold is good enough. And the queen, yes, something like silkish. Silk would be good. Yeah, we can make this work. And he hustles about trying on different clothings on you and the skeletons. There are more people there helping out, of course, but he's the one kind of deciding things. Yes, I suppose this works. And by the time he says that, you can see that most of you are like in deserts and desert clothing, so to say, more of the yellow colors, and maybe the king and the queen are more colorful-ish, I guess, colored, and you yourself are like more of a traditional, I guess, uniform, having these fake or whatever the war trophies are said are called, that you put on your chests, like ordnance. I don't know what it is in English. Good work. Oh, look at the time. We've got a match to play, don't we?
Yes.
And then he directs you out of the building, out of the back door of the building, and close to what seems to be where would you actually play? Into a large town square, yes, where you can see that people have already like gathered around. Something has been used to draw decently straight lines on the ground, each line being 5 by 5 feet, of course, and it, like the general chessboard. And each side of the board has like a tent brought upright, a decently large tent, seemingly being able to store at least like 20 people. And he I guess smuggles you into one of the tents along with your skeletons. Okay, so when I call Hero of the Desert, Warden, then you walk out of the tent and in front of the board with your skeletons. Well, okay, to make myself clear?
Very well. When you call for the Hero of the Desert, Warden, I shall come out.
Yes, cool. And then we start the game, and then you play a game, and I suppose if someone wins, then he'll get a prize maybe if we have something prepared. I'm not sure. Didn't have time to think about that.
I
But
guess
anyway,
we shall see how it goes.
good luck, man. And may you have fun.
You too.
Like maybe 20 or so minutes pass before he begins. Ladies
I
and
just have
gentlemen,
options.
I'm sure all of you already know this, seeing as you have gathered around here, but we have discovered a new take on a traditional game. Something never before seen, and actually the forefather is one of the players. You know how I love long stories, but this time I'll save your ears. Let's
Nice
just
call.
welcome the players and start the game.
Good call. Clever boy.
Under the red tent, you all know him, you all hate him. The grand champion of chess of Candlekeep, 5 times in a row.
Excuse me, what?
The first actual participant in the Necromancer chess. Stevie the Sludge.
The sludge.
You can't yet see him, but later on you will see him as a morbidly obese man with what seems to be a very dark coat and a very comically large dark wizard hat on his head.
I guess Liron already sees him.
Yes,
Yeah.
I suppose. His army is mostly consistent of very dark metal armored soldiers.
Hold on. Can I whisper to Warden's ear, would you like to do the spell of like communication?
Ah, yeah, before the game and stuff, I put up the Raris telepathic bond.
Sure.
Basically,
Like
just have a
basic,
mental bond for an
basic-
hour.
so basically, he has like an army of Theatric warriors or something like something similar. They have like dark pointy armors and dark weaponry.
Ah, generic dark edgelord.
And the challenger and the forefather of this magnificent game of the ages, the hero of the desert, Warden.
Outgame the warden, but okay. I walk out standing pride and whatever, and I just walk simply towards the location I was told to.
The battle of good and evil begins, as he says.
Battle between evil and evil.
Who will be the most tolerant necromancer? We will find out after our sponsor. And then some young woman comes out and with a package in her arms, and she says, "Ah, these hot summers. However can I refreshen myself and also feel my need for sugar? Oh, but these super convenient and lightly fluffy dessert called ice cream, now also in Candlekeep." And basically all the audience gets like popsicles or something.
I guess Liron tries one as well.
It is sweet, it is cold, it is light. It tastes of vanilla, but I don't know if you know what vanilla is in this game.
Yeah, there is a spice vanilla, so I guess maybe.
Well, then I guess you know. It tastes
But-
absolutely scrumptious.
Did they say how much does it cost?
No,
Goddamn Frodo.
coming straight from Neverwinter. The
Oh yeah, got that, brother.
the home world of ice cream, even to these, to the all over the world, magnificent ice cream. Please
Got
get yours today, tomorrow, every day. Ice cream. And let the games commence. The game, singular. There's only one. It commences. And then the gong starts. Haha! That's Mikkel, whatever his name was.
Sludge.
Sludge, yeah.
You did a mistake playing against me. I'm the 5-time world champion. Taste my wrath. I will skin you from bone to bone. Have a day. Oh.
To his taunt answer, I have no skin.
Oh, whatever, you will lose. Sure. So the first roll was intelligence, right? Yes.
Oh, no. Here we go.
And
Intelligence.
before you roll, you can always decide to do your ability.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna say it up front. Because I can do it 3 times per day.
Yes, but once a game.
Once a game. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
one single game, like one of these phases.
But okay, yeah, once per game, once per phase. Like in the end, that it's only 1 time per game.
Yes, but the game can end prematurely if someone rolls a 1 or a 20. That's why I did when Liron lost in the first round. That's like the
Okay.
that's like the there's like a 10% chance on either players that the game can end right there, that phase, or it can end with a draw at the end of the game if like points make sense.
All right, let's risk it. I'm not gonna use it right now.
Intelligence roll, yes.
I think you could use lucky trait with the combination of that.
Jesus Christ. Me and my big mouth.
So, Mick, what happens? Please tell.
The audience gasps. What is this sorcery? The game ends at the 12th move on a magnificent one. In the future, they will call it the Warden.
The Warden move.
Yeah, the move called the Warden. I command my prisoners with a straight hand, like giving straight commands and with a stern sound and certainty. Right away, when like my turn comes, I just go like bishop to a4 and such. Like I don't even delay a moment. I'm just so focused, laser pointed to the task at hand.
Very well. Yes.
To be honest, it is actually super stressful to think like, oh, you can roll with advantage, and your advantage roll might be the critical one you need.
Yes. Very well. Analysts will analyze this game for quite some time, and in the end, they will always reach the same conclusion. In most games, it's not worth doing such an aggressive move at the start. There are many disadvantages to it, but at the end it's really fucking cool to fuck up your enemy in the first 12 moves.
Nice.
Sludge is absolutely flabbergasted. No, you cheated. There's no way. How could I? The 5-time world champion, Candlekeep champion of chess. How can I lose? No, impossible. And then,
Warden goes, it was a violent game. Good match.
no, you! I demand a rematch. This is not chess. This is cheating. There's no way. A rematch, I say.
Unfortunately, I do not have time for more games. I must carry forth with my quest. We may battle another time in the future. Until then, get good.
And then
And as such, I just walk away. Of course, I'm like politely, thank you for the game and such.
Jameson stands on the stage, and there you have it, kids. I mean, listeners, watchers. An absolute upset. Our most hated 5-time world champion actually loses in the first 12 rounds. How embarrassing. He must be feeling himself really badly right now.
And the crowd goes wild.
Ah! There's like maybe 100 people. At
Yeah,
most.
and it's good enough for me, I guess. I think.
It's chess. But it is chess with skeletons.
Yeah. It's like in Harry Potter, but with skeletons.
Gonna be honest, Jameson says, I would have expected more of a challenge, but it seems like our new Candlekeep World Champion is the hero of the desert, Warden. He doesn't say that, hey, of course.
Thank you.
And before you go back, do not forget our precious sponsor, the ice cream. Only on a hot summer's day can you appreciate a cold popsicle. And then people kind of, I guess, shrug and, I don't know, start going home, I guess. Jameson comes to your tent, gives you your 10 gold and says, magnificent, absolutely wild. This will hit the headlines.
I'm glad I could be of service.
Storm.
Tell me of this Lodge. Do people really hate him?
He's an obnoxious kid. No, I mean,
Why?
they don't really hate him. It's just, I think he's a major reason why the sport isn't as popular as it is, as it could be, I guess. No one wants self-entitled Pratt as a champion, Can't really sell it decently. But you, Warden, you're clean, you're fast. You might be just the man we need to make it work.
So he is bad at sportsmanship. It is a regrettable thing. But I presume you can.
I guess.
If you want to use like more chess games, I guess you can use my naming that people may find this event or whatever,
Much appreciated. We will definitely take you up on your offer. And if you're ever back in Candlekeep, I'm sure by then, I guess, if this works out, we can maybe even make it a thing. Make necromancy popular again. What a thing to say, he says.
Yes, you may keep us up posted.
I guess
But
the
for now,
marketing could be, even if your parents are dead, you can still play chess with them. Oh, amazing. This will hit big. Even if old Yeah. Oh, what the hell. Even if, oh my god. I'm trying to think of dog names, but I cannot. Sparky, yeah, whatever. Even if Sparky grew old, he can he can still wag his tail while biting at the enemies. Oh, necromancy will be big again. Ah, Christ almighty. Walk away victorious without having lost any of your, I guess, skeletons. Easy match. Much ego.
A lot of ego.
The forefather of necromantic chess.
I am the chess.
And I guess this is the perfect time to, I guess, stop for the day.
I do agree with that.
Yes.
What an upset! I would have liked. I specifically wanted that he had like low intelligence, the sludge thing, but had high something else. But whatever.
Like dexterity or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Like wisdom or something.
I kind of really love that. Yeah, after he said like, "Oh yeah, critical is physical game win," it's like, "Ah, critical."
Yeah. It's technically like 10% chance, but you know, you kind of made it work, I guess.
10% chance,
Because,
5%
yeah.
whatever.
Otherwise, it's always going to be it's more interesting this way. Like you somehow got the upper hand and checkmated the king or something.
I guess
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
one of those days that you should have rolled to the spell. The goat. It's like you have to just roll natural 20 or 19.
Sure, I guess. Because
Yeah, okay, I guess next time we just go to the wizard now if we get all of the other dudes also.
if all of you decide to go to the wizard.
I think it's close to that time, yes.
Otherwise, you can always, I guess, I don't know, satisfy your other desires if you have any. Though I don't think I have actually made any apparent plot hooks. I don't know. Probably not. Yes. Wizard. Capture wizard. Save the Jinn. Save the boy. Save the man. And maybe save the kingdom. But for today, that is enough. Having you as the grandmaster of Candlekeep chess is good enough, I guess.
Yep.
Thank you for participating. Until next time.
Yep. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.